Every fall, Boulder County turns back the clock at Walker Ranch. For 3 generations, the Walker family lived here and ran one of Colorado's largest cattle operations. Now, Walker Ranch is county open space, where visitors can experience local history.
Walker Ranch is a Boulder County Parks and Open Space site that comprises approximately 3,000 acres in the foothills just west of the city of Boulder. The majority of the property is actually open space. It has a series of trails, throughout the property in different places. There are picnic shelters and there are restrooms available for hikers and site visitors. But then we also have the homestead site proper, which covers a few acres and includes a number of old historic sites, including the log house and several barns and blacksmith shop and the turkey house and a few other structures on the site. The fall event has a couple of days in which the site is open to the general public, and we have crowds that average somewhere around 1,000 per day. They come up to the site to see what ranch life in the 1880s was like in Colorado.
Looking after local history is a top priority for the Boulder County Parks and Open Space Department. The county is safeguarding prehistoric tribal campsites, gold, silver, tungsten, and coal mines, some of the area's first farms and ranches, and many culturally significant landscapes. So folks today can experience Boulder County history by seeing it, touching it, and walking through it. The Boulder County Parks and Open Space staff document local history by recording elders' life stories and doing other research. Keep track of culturally and historically significant properties and artifacts. Find ways to make local historical sites useful and accessible for the public. Seek out grants and partnerships, and do the hands-on work of preservation and restoration. Boulder County's efforts often take place in cooperation with partners, such as the Colorado Historical Society, Historic Boulder, the St. Vrain Historical Society, and other preservation groups. The Boulder County Youth Corps and groups of volunteers also assist with the work of preservation and help others have a first-hand experience with local history.
I think Boulder County is known throughout the country for its preservation program, and the reason I believe this is true is because as a part of this program, we have helped to educate the public as far as awareness is concerned, the value of these historical properties. It shows us a picture or a window into the past.
Evidence of human activity in Boulder County dates back 12,000 years. Nomadic Indians camped throughout the region, hunting the migrating bison, elk, and other big game. During the 1800s, Chief Niwot, whose name means left hand in Arapaho, and his people lived throughout Boulder County's left-hand valley. Chief Niwot declared that people who gaze upon the beauty of this valley will always be destined to return. Today, we affectionately call his pronouncement Niwot's Curse. Arrowheads, rock flakes, pottery shards, and other artifacts of Indian camps have been discovered on Boulder County open space. Some archaeological sites have been deftly hidden to preserve their integrity, so that preservationists may excavate and learn from them in the future. At Rock Creek Farm near Lafayette, archaeology consultants discovered an ancient campsite while planning a trail along the creek.
We were surprised by the quantity of artifactual material, which is a result of the length of occupation there. So, in fact, the length of occupation was a surprise as well, that it had been occupied repeatedly for thousands of years. This was not a single occupation. People came and went and returned there probably annually for many thousands of years. So it was a surprise, and we were quite pleased that there was so much information at the site. The site has been placed on the State Register of Historic Properties. It is significant for the suite of radiocarbon dates that we retrieved from the fire pits, and for the artifactual material, which is now curated at the University of Colorado Museum. Tours of school children were brought out on field trips, and some 400 children were given the opportunity to see an archaeological excavation in progress, and what sort of techniques we were using, what an archaeological site looks like, and what our goals and objectives were. I think the value of studying ancient archaeological sites is that it tells us how people lived on the landscape before we were here, what their adaptation was, how they dealt with day-to-day life, and it creates a connection between the past and the present, and hopefully into the future in terms of human endeavor and how we understand our trajectory on this landscape.
Less than 200 years ago, the first white explorers laid eyes upon the landscapes that greet Boulder County residents each day. In 1819, artist Stephen Seymour recorded this scene as he approached the Front Range with Major Stephen Long's expedition. Soon afterward, trappers, bison hunters, and trading post operators, such as Saran St. Vrain, who named the St. Vrain Valley, soon followed. On January 16, 1859, miners discovered a motherlode of gold in Gold Run, just below Gold Hill. News of the find traveled fast, and the Colorado Gold Rush was on. Boulder County mining towns swelled with new residents. Mines and mills soon thundered with activity. Steam locomotives chuffed through the mountains, hauling ore, supplies, and people. Today, Boulder County's hard rock mining glory is part of our community fabric. It is preserved in local museums, and it shows up in dozens of mines found all over the county. A close-up of those boom years can be seen at Boulder County's Caribou Ranch open space.
Well, the Bluebird Mine, my understanding is, was discovered by three gentlemen who were prospecting in the Caribou area. Now, Caribou is about 2.5 miles, as the crow flies, as they used to say in the old days, from Bluebird, and they were apparently prospecting in that area. Geologically speaking, it's my understanding that a lot of the silver that's there in the Bluebird area is part of the main Caribou silver vein that runs to the southwest of that location. At any rate, I think it was in 1871, in the spring of that year, when the snows had started to melt. These prospectors were in that area, and they noticed some ore that was laying on top of the ground that they identified as being very similar to the ore at Caribou. And so they filed a claim at that time, and I understand that about a month and a half later, a newspaper reporter from the Caribou Post made his way down there and discovered that just in that month and a half, the prospectors had taken out over $6,000 of pretty good ore. And that was a lot of money in those days. And so then at that point, other prospectors came into that area, and there were various lodes then that were discovered, and various ownerships, as we all know, all during that particular time period.
Just down the rail from Caribou Ranch is the Cardinal Mill site, a long-term historic preservation project for Boulder County Open Space Department. Original miners' cabins at Cardinal are being rehabilitated by private owners. and the mill is being restored also by the county.
The mill was started to take the ore from the Boulder County tunnel, which is just across the access road to it. And it was originally processing gold. The ore came in as great chunks of rock that most of us would not have recognized the ore in. And it tumbled down through this building, getting crushed first with rollers, then with steel balls, and finally going through some very fine work until it came out the bottom. The fascinating thing that gives a sense of this is at the top you've got about a 10-foot diameter bin that the ore was dumped in, and when it came out the bottom, it came out in a container that was smaller than a shoebox.
Mining for tungsten, a mineral that hardens steel, was also a great source of wealth in Boulder County. The Pitasso family settled land west of Boulder in the early 1900s and mined for both tungsten and gold. Extra income was used to buy ranch land for their increasing cattle herds. Today, visitors can go to the Boulder Preserve, one of Boulder County's original open space acquisitions, to experience both local history and open space. They can see the original homestead, restored to its original condition by expert Boulder County Parks and Open Space craftsmen. Just a few miles to the east, coal mining was the backbone of the local economy. At the Harney-Listoka open space outside Louisville are the remnants of the old coal operation and the house where the Harneys lived with their 8 children. Boulder County researchers recorded an oral history with Susan Listoka in 1998.
We used to make our own cheese, and we always made our own butter. I can remember as a little girl, I wasn't even hardly tall enough, but I used that plunger until that butter come. Ma, the butter won't come. We'll go a little bit faster. Well, I'm tired. Well, you're going to stay there until you get it done. Go ahead and do it. That was one of the first things Dad built, was that bread oven, because we had one here. Different people around here had outside bread ovens.
They did. That was a common thing in this area.
Yes. We needed 50 pounds of flour for one batch of bread. And the whole Little Italy smelled of bread. And we had more company than you could shake a stick at. The Harneys are making bread.
When the money to be made in mining wasn't enough to live on, miners moved on, or turned to what they knew best, farming and ranching. Now, some of Boulder County's oldest farms are being preserved as open space. Just west of Longmont, the historic Lower McIntosh Farm is home to the Boulder County Agriculture Heritage Center. The farmhouse is open for tours, and so are the barns, which have been restored. Educational exhibits have been designed to engage children in farm history.
This was a real opportunity for Boulder County. In 1985, the chance presented itself to purchase this piece of property from the 3rd generation resident here, Mr. Shorty Lohr. And Shorty had a twofold vision in which he saw an opportunity to preserve a large piece of land that could be maintained under agricultural lease as long as there was someone interested in farming it. The other part of Shorty's vision was to create a historic site that commemorated Boulder County's rich agricultural heritage. And so the county definitely took advantage of the offer to purchase the property. Original purchase was about 227 acres here. And in fact, the bulk of the property is under agricultural lease today. And we have about 6 acres that comprise the historic part of the site. To see that his vision was realized after the sale was completed, Mr. Lohr then took a substantial portion of the profits that he realized and put them back into trust for the county to help with the development of the site. And we've done a number of things at this site since Boulder County took over its development. There's been work done on several of the structures here, including the farmhouse. There was a good bit of restoration done there. Both of the two barns on the site have undergone restoration as well. And then through the efforts of the Boulder County Youth Corps, there have been corrals that have been replicated here. There was a pig pen that was replicated. So there's a number of structures that have been worked on. In addition to the structures, we have a growing volunteer force here that works on a number of different things, including collections management of our artifacts. We have a team of gentlemen that who work on restoring the farm implements around the site, not just to a point of being aesthetically pleasing, but they're actually returning these implements to a point of functionality, because one of the plans that we have for the future is to do some demonstration farming here on the site using historical techniques.
Northeast of Lafayette, Boulder County has rehabilitated the Martindale Granary. Built in the 1930s, it has always been the county's longest granary, and today it still stores locally grown wheat. And near Lyons, at Boulder County's Heil Ranch open space, preservation experts have restored the original barn.
This barn at Heil Ranch was restored in 2003-2004. This barn was built around the turn of the century, maybe a little bit before. This is what the barn told us by the nails and the construction techniques. There are different ways to go about restoring a barn. This one has been done for reuse by the county to be used as a maintenance building and a shop space. So some concessions to historical accuracy were incorporated into the building, but the overall feel of the building has remained the same. As many components were saved as were possible. A lot of rough lumber. We only put as many new pieces in it as were required to hold it up and to meet the engineer's specifications. Over the long term, we can expect this barn to have a usable service life of probably another 100 years.
It's not just the mines and the farms and the Indian camps that tell the history of Boulder County. Landscapes also let us peek at days gone by to gain a better understanding of local history. These views are like old paintings and photographs. They are living snapshots of the past, and because they are preserved as open space, they will endure for generations to come. The Rough and Ready Ditch, which has carried irrigation water since 1861. Gun Barrel Hill, which is an important agriculture area for winter wheat. The Ramey property, which is Boulder County's oldest and best preserved homestead. Batasso Preserve, Walker Ranch, Rock Creek Farm. All are Boulder County open space properties with views and histories that tell us about our heritage.
The opportunities are many and varied to get involved in historic preservation. One can volunteer for the Historic Preservation Advisory Board. One can get actively involved in local preservation organizations that exist throughout the county. One could also visit many of the historic resources and properties that are around the county. And one could participate by reading and enjoying local history in Boulder County.
Now we come to see.